Hey everybody, Dauntless here, and today I'm going to be playing Gold Rush, the original Classic Edition. Now, I had this game back when I was really little, and what happened was my grandfather sent it out to me, and I don't remember which one, but basically what happened is we mentioned that we were into all the original Sierra adventure games, and at the time, those were the only ones we knew Sierra had even made. So when he sent out Gold Rush, we were really excited, and it turned out to be actually a pretty good game, except for a few problems that I'll mention as we play. But overall, it was amazing. I loved it. Now, the biggest thing before I start is the copyright protection. This game had the worst copyright protection system ever, and what it basically did was it gave you a manual that was about that thick, and said, find this word that's on this page, this paragraph, and go, in about X, amount of words. And so it just became a major hassle trying to root through this thing to find this key word that they wanted. But thankfully, that is removed in this. So let's get this show on the road with Gold Rush Classic. And just give me a moment. There's a little bit of a glitch with the video here because I have it set up slightly differently than I normally do. Okay, so you'll notice it's kind of off into the side. There we go. The Software Farm, originally it was Sierra, is proud to present. Thank you, Software Farm, by the way, for remaking this and putting it on Steam. The life and times of a great American hero, Jared Wilson. He always looks like he's wearing eyeshadow. A young, ambitious city slicker born and raised in urban America. Quite frankly, he's perfectly prim and proper, caught in the trap of 9 to 5. Is this all life has to offer? There has to be more. This man is ready for action. As of this moment, no longer will he accept only dreaming of adventure. And these are the 3 different paths you can take. I'm going to be taking the jungle trek this time. The funny thing is, they made a remake, and I may not even play it, because I have played it before, but quality-wise, it's, anyway, it's kind of meh. I appreciate the effort, but I think they could have done a little more with capturing some of the aspects that made this game great. Ah yes, those classic sounds. And you may notice that the sound is a little bit, it's a little bit louder, and you may also notice I'm not wearing any headphones. Normally what I would do here, to make sure that the sound isn't too incredibly loud, would be to turn it down in the game. But unfortunately, this game does not allow me to turn the sound up or down, it just allows me to turn it on or off. But thankfully the sound there isn't a lot of sound, or at least there isn't a lot of music or anything that can, that can blur out everything. And I tested it out, and I could hear myself pretty well, so I'm hoping that it'll be fine for you guys as well. So here we are in Brooklyn Heights, New York, 1848. This is before the Gold Rush, as it said down below. And I'm going to set the speed to fast so that I can kind of get around quicker. When you were a young boy, just after moving to Brooklyn, your father built this house with his own 2 hands. It is one of the few things he left to remind you of him. It may not be the nicest or the best kept house in the neighborhood, but you value it more than a mansion. closet, which I am now coming out of. Memories, memories, memories. Every time you look at this album, it brings back memories. The album begins with a painting of your father and his best man, Mr. Quayle, the bank president, shaking hands after the wedding. You can't help but remember the help Mr. Quayle was during the years after your parents' death. He raised you and your brother, Jake, until you could live on your own. Here's a painting of your older brother, Jake, when he was just a baby. You often think of Jake, wondering where he is and what he is doing. And just across the page is a painting of you. You must have been about 18 months old. And finally, you see a photo of your entire family together. You remember the excitement of posing together in front of the camera. It is a very, very special photo to you. You carefully remove the family photo from the album. You retrieve the crumpled bank statement from between the slats of the roll-top desk. Now, obviously, I'm not going to do every single step as if I've never played this before. And the reason is that this game kicks your rear end and forces you to wear it for a hat if you haven't played it before. It is cruel and unusual, and one of the things is timing. There is actually a timer going on as we speak that says, oh god, that was close, and you can die to the horses. But anyway, the timer, basically what it does is if you take too long, the gold rush starts, your house is worth diddly squat, and all the tickets suddenly leap up in price. You see the sparkle of something shiny. Ah yes! A closer look reveals a gold coin under the gazebo. You stretch your arm as far as humanly possible. The gold coin is almost beyond your reach, but finally, you are able to grasp it. And, amusingly enough, if you don't get that coin, you're toast later on. It is your handwritten quarterly statement from the Brooklyn Bank. Upon examining it, you notice that your account number is 61. Well, I'm glad I figured that out now. And that you have $200 in your account, which is actually not bad considering, you know, it's not bad considering the year. Actually, considering my own bank account, that's not bad either. Let's see. Oh, this is a really depressing area, actually, and not just because it's a graveyard. It's because if you look at this particular grave system right here, it's basically a mother who died in childbirth, and the 4 little gravestones next to it are the kids that she was giving birth to. So it was like she was giving birth to quadruplets, which, you know, I don't know if they meant that to be kind of an amusing little fact. Oh, this woman died giving birth to quadruplets. Or, yeah, they really meant it to be as depressing as it is. You know, one thing I'm going to say about the graphics in this game is they are very, very, very simple. This is old EGA graphics, obviously. But look at the color! You pick a few flowers, but not too many so that others may enjoy them. Yeah, and I mean, look at the coloring and everything. And not only that, look how alive this city is. Like, right here, it seems a little bit Spartan. But overall, there is almost always something going on in the city. In loving memory of Martha Wilson, 1829, age 31. May she rest in peace, survived by her sons, Jake and Jared. In respect for our father, Marshall Wilson, taken away, 1829, age 33. A man whose steps are worthy to walk in, this great name to be carried on by Jake and Jared. Drop flowers. Thunk! There you go, Mom and Dad! When you visit your parents' graves, you bring a bouquet of flowers in their memory. It was a dark, damp, dreary, cold, rainy, windy winter night many years ago that your mother and father, you know, you could have just taken all that and condensed it down to dark and blustery. I think that would have worked just as well. I mean, I get what they are trying to do, but a little wordy there for me. many years ago that your mother and father were suddenly taken in an unfortunate horse-drawn buggy accident. How quickly and tragically they were taken. You never have, and most likely never will, understand why. I corrected their grammar there, by the way. Yes, I am doing that. Actually, I had to do that really badly, and was it the last game I did? No. There was another game where I was going through it, and I'm just like, that's a spelling error, that's a horrible grammar error, that's not supposed to do that, what's wrong here? And after a while, I was just like, okay, I'm going to end up basically correcting this game the entire time, aren't I? And this wasn't even a fan-made game, it was an official game. The man says, "Good day, Mr. Wilson. Are you ready for today's economy update?" You reply, "I'm ready. Go ahead." "The Brooklyn economy is strong. Property is holding its value. If nothing out of the ordinary happens, this will continue. However, there have been rumors of the discovery of gold in California. If there is any truth to these rumors, it could have a profound effect on the local economy." All right. In other words, if you find gold, if somebody finds gold, everybody's going to bolt like rabbits. It is a nice desk with a blotter on it. You lift the blotter only to see those old newspaper clippings about your brother Jake. Not needing the blotter, you put it back on your desk. These clippings are very important to you. You find yourself reading them often, wondering where your brother is and what he is doing. These clippings describe the complicated episode of your only brother, Jake. Jake was falsely accused of a crime he didn't commit. Although Jake was promised a fair trial, the townspeople weren't interested in justice. The result would have been a foregone conclusion. Jake's only alternative was to leave town and never come back. When he left Brooklyn, you wanted to go with him. Jake told you to stay because it may be dangerous. But he did promise that he would contact you if something important happened. He left 11 years ago, and you haven't heard from him since. Alright. Carrying on this way. So at this point, I am going to do one thing like I haven't played before, and that is I'm not going to immediately start acting like I am getting ready for the gold rush. Ring-a-ling-a-ling! What can I do for you? Let me check. I'll be right back. The postmaster exclaims, "Good news, Jared! You have a letter!" He places the letter on the counter. The envelope is tattered from traveling across the continent. There is no return address, but there is a postmark and a stamp. It is difficult to read, but you are able to decipher Sutter's Fort. This is one of the first adhesive stamps ever. You notice a lump under the stamp. You peel back a corner of the stamp and find a gold flake. Jake has found gold. You carefully open the letter. January 25th, 1848. Jared, this letter is of great importance. As you will find, I live in the area drained by the American River. Today I buried Pa in a nearby cemetery. Only you will understand. Come here quickly. Farewell, Jake. P.S. Bring family photo from home so I will know it's you. I always wonder, you know, in older comic books, like I think they might still even do this at times, like, especially X-Men, it seemed like they capitalized, like, emphasized the weirdest stuff in there. And so it always looked like they were, you know, just randomly yelling out random parts of their sentence. This is a letter from your long-lost brother, Jake. There are some interesting holes in it, and that look like they have been cut intentionally. Like, they'd be having these conversations. I mean, you could have them sitting there having a conversation about eggs, and they still do this. Would you please pass the salt? And it was always, you know, supposed to add emphasis onto something. Okay, so let's go sell a house. This is a difficult decision. Your house means a lot to you, but you put it up for sale. Okay, now let's go get ourselves ready. And we are going to be taking the Panama track because it's the one I'm the best at. I can get through almost everything in the Panama track without trouble. I know that there's still one of the most annoying aspects of the game in there. It is your... Okay, 61. I was about to do 64, but... Okay, I'm glad I looked at that again. And that is random death. Okay, Jared, what is your account number? Just one moment. I'll get your money for you. Doink. Doink. Here's your $200, sir. Alright, let's roll. And normally these things do have a bit of a... Oh, that's right. I got to read the poster anyway. So let's head up there. And then I'll go back and check my house. Bound for California. The MY New York-built steamer Seafarer now has all her cargo engaged and will have a prompt dispatch. Buy ticket from Leonard at 12 Front Street. All right, let's go do that. So while this game does have a lot of random death moments, and what I mean by that is it will literally kill you for no reason other than it wants to be historically accurate. And I appreciate historical accuracy like everybody else. But this game takes it to a level where you are literally... You know, you'll be going along your trail, and about halfway through, all of a sudden, it decides to just kill you with cholera. Whoop, that was it. Sorry, guys. So you can have a major issue with, there he is. The real estate man says, You're fortunate to own such a fine piece of property. I like this property, and I am willing to pay top dollar. Will you accept $850 in cash for your house? Yeah! Congratulations! Property values are at a premium. You have conducted a prime sale. You are sad that your house is gone, but you'll always have the memories. As you give the real estate man the keys to your house, you say, Mr. Quayle will come by to pick up my personal belongings. Okay, and at points like this... But anyway, as I was saying, it will randomly kill you. So... I think all of them do it, but I've had better luck with the Panama track than anything else. Leonard says, I've been getting some business from my poster in the warehouse, Jared. What can I help you with today? You'll never find a cheaper time to travel, Jared, and there is room on the ship. The routes to California are around Cape Horn or by way of Panama. The prices are Panama route, $900. It is the most expensive, probably because it's the safest. Cape route, $650. Are you interested in a ticket? Yeah! That's probably what it is, because if you do the $200 one is the Overland. It's the cheapest, and I think a lot of the puzzles are easiest, but you have like 3-4 different ways you'll die on there. Not only that, it glitches in this game. It like crashes the whole game. Which route are you interested in, Cape Horn or Panama? The cost of a trip to California by way of Panama is $900. Would you like to buy a ticket? Yeah! That'll be $900 in cash, please. Thanks, Jared. Here's your ticket. I hope you strike it rich. Okay, good. So now I gotta go do 1 or 2 other things. I gotta get mosquito netting. I think I'm gonna buy fruit anyway, just in case. I don't think I need it. I think that's specifically the Cape Horn, but we'll try it out. Better safe than sorry. Your boss is shocked by your decision. He says, "But Jared, you're one of the best." He continues, "But a man has to do what a man has to do. I wish you the very best, Jared. We'll miss you around here." All right. I think we're almost there. I just need to get that one last thing. I just got to get the mosquito netting. Yeah, I'll get the fruit as well, just because. Good day, sir. What can I do for you? Very well, sir. I see that your account has a positive balance. I'll put it on your account. Okay. Excuse me, sir. Yes? I've heard rumors about gold in California. I figured since you work at the newspaper office, you might know if it were true. You answer to the best of your knowledge. At this time, the rumors are just that. Rumors. That's what I thought. But if they're true, and I hope they are, I'd be on my way today. Well, that was kind of a little bit of a lie there, wasn't it? Because you do have proof. Is there something I can do for you? Your account balance is adequate. I'll charge your account. And I think we're good. Alright, let's blow this taco stand. Actually, it's New York, so that would be a pizza stand. Hey, there's that guy who bought my house. Ding dong. Okay, I'm not going to save standing right here. I'm literally going to go up here and go, save. Here we go, everybody. Can we get through without randomly dying? The crewman says, ship's ready to go! We have been waiting for you! Let's get going! All aboard! You have 60 out of 60! Congratulations! Yeah, I know that, but yeah, the Overland Trek has like 3-4 different ways you can die. You can randomly die because of Indians, you can randomly die because of cholera. What else was there? Oh yeah, you can randomly die while fording a river because you fall off a boat. It's like, it's bad. And the chances are, and here's what I mean by chances are and everything. I tried doing it the last time, and I spent, I think, 15-20 minutes trying to get past that one trail, and I ended up spending most of it because of random death. And then, of course, the game crashed, so I was just like, okay, forget this. I gotta try a route that's a little safer. With Cape Horn, I think you can die a lot more just because of, you can die a lot more. There's fewer, but you can still die from cholera. You can still die from, just, you know, random other stuff, like the ship sinking and stuff like that. Ugh. This one, we'll have to see. The Panama route, since it is, in most cases, the most expensive route, generally attracts the slightly more sophisticated passenger. But the jungle has no respect for sophistication, only surprises. Some of these people haven't seen a hard day's work in their entire lives, save for chopping that firewood for mother. Hey, that's harder work than most people do in their entire lives. But, nonetheless, it has become the route taken by New York brokers, Philadelphia lawyers, Boston bankers, and big city doctors. The captain advises the passengers that it will take approximately 2 to 3 weeks to get to the Rio Chagres. Chagres. Interesting. There is one main advantage of this route over the Cape Horn route. It normally takes less time than the Cape Horn route, getting you to that California gold as soon as possible. That is, if everything goes right. You're taking a big chance on catching a ride on the Pacific side of the isthmus. You must also contend with the Panamanian jungle. As you travel further south, the humidity continues to rise. One thing you want to remember, of course, is that if you do randomly die, that is decided when you leave Brooklyn. So, potentially, you could get yourself You could die, way later on in some of these, especially in Cape Horn. You could get that cholera at any point and just fall over dead. And then you got to go all the way back to New York. You have to restore back. And that's assuming you were smart enough to save back then. And if you didn't think about it, you're toast. You got to restart the whole game. In the distance, you get your first glimpse of the Panamanian coastline. It is a wall of green rising abruptly from a beautiful blue sea. There are a few coral islands and reefs that your captain meticulously maneuvers around. The scene as you see it is that it has always been. It will be just as difficult to walk across the isthmus today as it was for Balboa centuries ago. Near the mouth of the Rio Chagres are ancient Spanish, Scottish, and English forts, now in ruins. The most famous of these is Fort San Lorenzo. Hidden by the dense jungle are many more that are now invisible. Other cities and fortresses, which once flourished, are now overgrown and hidden. No one knows where they are, except for Indiana Jones. Ships arriving from all over the world are not allowed to dock in the Caribbean side of the isthmus. Ships must anchor offshore, which results in the passengers having to pay exorbitant prices to native business people for a ride to shore. You will ride to shore and 40 miles up the Rio Chagres in small wooden boats. Offshore, it is beautifully silent. There we are. Okay, and here. There, I'm saving, just in case. Isthmus of Panama. Fort San Lorenzo. You can see it up there on the coast. And there's the city of Chagres right there. I'm actually a little impressed by their addition of the waves there. The little white caps on the waves. Looks really good. Yeah, I just love the colors in this game. I know that some of this stuff is a little exaggerated, like the brickwork and some of the ground and stuff, especially in New York, is all red, but it just pops out really nicely and it looks gorgeous. The crooked river winds its way through a deep canyon with steep walls covered with thick vegetation. That's something that actually the remake does not have, and its graphics, all the colors are very dulled down, and I don't know why they would do that. I know they were trying to be maybe more historically accurate, but it doesn't make it historically accurate. It honestly just makes it very dull in a lot of areas. Even in the jungle, the colors were muted. And I might play through it just to show you guys what I'm talking about, but we'll see. In the jungle, it is never silent. There is an underlying hum and rustle and the sound of water dripping. Birds are squawking, monkeys are chattering, things you can't see are crashing and crumbling. The wildlife is breathtaking. Monkeys are seen swinging in the trees. Alligators are sunning on the logs. Jaguars stalk the shore. Flamingos, pelicans, eagles, blue and white herons, and vultures dot the sky. Not to mention all the creatures you can't see that are watching you. Do you ever have the feeling when you know you're being watched? Insects are unbearable. They are not just a nuisance, they carry dreaded deadly diseases. Thankfully, I am wearing that mosquito netting. At times, it is necessary to get out of the boat and drag it through shallow portions of the river. You don't want to touch the jungle plants. Some of them have poisonous juice. Some have 4-inch spikes. Some have blades as long and sharp as swords. You sweat continuously. The temperature may only be 85 degrees Fahrenheit, but the air is saturated and perfectly still. You know, it hit 35 today, and we thought, oh my goodness, it's a heat wave. All around you is the smell of hot, wet, rotten vegetation. You're beginning to wonder why you ever left the comforts of Brooklyn. Here in good old North Dakota, it gets very cold. It's been like negative 14 to 17 somewhere there, and then you end up with days where it's like negative 27 without wind chill. The lead native on the shore yells, "Hunga bunga, grandma zumba, humba wa rutsuslafagonga." Yeah. This is back when they didn't worry about being politically incorrect. Your guide interrupts. The leader of the natives says, "Give us all your valuable possessions. If you do, we will let you live." The leader of the natives continues, "Huffadungalo boo-boo, yo-yo-gumbi krumbasu mackerel." The guide interprets, "If we don't, they will kill us as dead as a mackerel." The guide continues, "I don't think they are bluffing. Do you think we should give them our valuables?" You tell the guide to tell the natives, "We will cooperate." The guide says to the natives, "Hongo yogonza, no minda yursava o wen buzongosa." Your gold coin is deep in your pocket. As you empty your pockets, you daringly leave it there. The letter from your brother Jake is in your hip pocket, along with the gold flake under the stamp. You leave that there. Your family photo is in your pocket, so you keep that. Everything else you have with you is thrown onto the shore. The leader of the natives runs over to the loot lying on the shore. The leader of the natives says, "Mumbo ala jumbo ya sun gumbo, bermonga somaruba." The guide interprets, "They're happy with the items we have given them. We are free to go." Ooh, a snake. Uh-oh. Please be okay. Okay, for a minute there I thought my character was looking a little ill in the background. He has a very specific look when he gets ill, and it's like this slumped over, like, look. Don't kill me off! For a portion of the 20-mile walk to Panama City, you're traveling on a road built centuries ago by the Spaniards. In the early days of their conquest, this road was used to transport treasures across the isthmus. It was called Camino Real, meaning Royal Road. A traveler in the jungle has hardly any view at all. You rarely see the sky and can see only a few feet in any direction. A person unaccustomed to the ways of the jungle could find themselves lost only a few feet from the road. When not on the primitive Spanish road, you are walking in untouched jungle, treading on mud or wet, squashy leaf mold, crawling over fallen trees, cutting your way through thick vegetation. It is difficult to get off the road, even using the most common and effective tool in the jungle, a machete. There is nothing in that jungle but snakes, alligators, tigers, pumas, jaguars, vampire bats, tarantulas, scorpions, and stinging centipedes. Those things are actually pretty awesome. They're huge! Okay, good. I think I'm managing to survive pretty good here. What are you doing sitting around here? I'm glad somebody here is enjoying the trip. The man says, "I've been traveling long and hard. It's time to rest for a while." The man continues, "In fact, stranger, you look tired. I wish there was something I could do for you." "Well, maybe there is something I can do. Take this book. It may be helpful to you." You gratefully receive it and say, "Thank you." The Bible has a worn black leather cover. The pages are edged with gold. How for two it is. Okay. Apparently I could not get through there. Alright, now let's just follow everybody. Okay, I do remember this. Oh no! It can't be! Not the dreaded jungle ants! That's a great idea! That guy's doing the little the dance there. I love the music here too. The road looks clear, so get down from here. How come nobody else had to deal with that? Okay, so look at this scene here, and for just one moment, I'd like you to just take in the scenery. Look at how much is going on here. There's, like, Plants everywhere. If there's anything that looks like a jungle path, this is it. Now, you don't want to take the bottom one, otherwise, I think a snake drops down and it kills you, and if you come in from the other side, those red plants will kill you. But there is a secret path here that I know, and it's... Ouch! You wonder what you just stubbed your toe on. You push back the foliage, obscuring your view. What your eyes behold is difficult for your mind to believe. You rub your eyes in disbelief, thinking that you must be seeing things, but what you see is real. There is an ancient gold disc with Spanish markings on it. Excuse me. There's an ancient gold disc with Spanish markings on it. It must have been lost during a treasure shipment or a bandit raid along this trail centuries ago. First, you take a good look around to see that no one is watching you. Then you cautiously pick up the gold disc, constantly on the lookout for creepy crawlers. And that is something you can only find on the Panama track. Okay, so this is the part that I truly detest with this particular area. Why? Because this is, let's see, what is my save? Is F5? Basically what it is you can randomly sync. Yep, like that. And what you want to do is just avoid it. And there you go. Now, in this version, that wasn't too bad, was it? It really wasn't. Now, in the remake, that suddenly became the biggest pain in the butt you will ever experience in your life. And I will show you, and I'm going to try and beat it anyway, because by golly, am I not going to let that stupid puzzle win. But it was awful. It was the worst. Once a traveler makes it to Panama City, his worries are really just beginning. Thanks! The population of Panama City increases every day due to the steady stream of fortune seekers coming across the isthmus. I just thought it looked like a rubber dinghy they're bringing out over there. Panama City is becoming extremely overcrowded and unsanitary and is an ideal place to contract a deadly jungle disease. That's nice. It is difficult to find food or a place to sleep. The overcrowded and unsanitary conditions basically stem from a lack of ships on the west coast of Panama to take gold seekers to California. Oh, so they all get crammed in there. Those ships that do leave for California are overloaded to the point of being unsafe. Gold seekers trapped in Panama City will do nearly anything to be one of the fortunate souls to be on board when the next ship sails. I'm on that boat! Tickets are scalped for 2 or 3 times the price paid for them. Well, if all else fails, I got a priceless gold disc I can barter with. Fights break out over who will get on the ship and who will be left behind. And while everybody's fighting, I'll just kind of inch my way around them and jump right on. Those who are left behind are forced to retreat back into the city and attempt to fend off the numerous jungle diseases, which is actually still a problem out there. From what I gather, South America still has a huge sanitation issue, which is kind of unfortunate because overall, I think it's one of the few areas with a true jungle. I mean, from the videos and stuff I've seen, it's absolutely beautiful looking. Unfortunately, yeah, you want to be careful going around there, the areas with, people in it, because all of a sudden it starts getting really toxic. Delays of 2 weeks are usual. Delays of 2 months are not uncommon. You are one of the lucky ones. You managed to get on a ship. It is incredibly crowded. Well, good. Let's carry on. And let's save again. You don't see how this ship is going to survive a voyage of 3,500 miles from Panama to California. There are no words to describe how overcrowded this ship is. It is so heavy that you are amazed it's still afloat. Well, at least you know everybody around you is alive. You can feel each other breathing. Every square foot of deck space is occupied by a gold seeker or his baggage. Some passengers sleep in hammocks hung in the rigging. Others sleep on the deck or on the passengers next to them. Let's look for a big guy. They tend to be nice and cushy. No one on board wants to miss the sight of sailing through that golden gate. The railing is lined with passengers. A loud cheer goes up from the crowd on board as the ship enters into the beautiful bay. It makes a chill run up and down your spine. It is a sight you will not soon forget. The south edge of the bay is lined with small buildings. There are a few boats and ships moored at the docks. That must be the settlement of Yerba Buena, soon to be called San Francisco. It looks like the ship you are riding on is one of the first to arrive. This brings a little glimmer into every eye on board. The ship isn't moving fast enough. If the captain passed out oars, you would gladly row if it would save 1 minute. You're ready to start panning for that California gold. You have 100 out of 100. You are on the right track. I think it means track, but we'll forgive him. You've arrived in Sacramento. You're the fella on the ship wearing a white shirt and black pants, right there in the middle of the deck. There are many buildings in Sacramento. You've got to find your way to Sutter's Fort. Thankfully, I already know how to get there, so let's just skip all the looking around like an idiot and just do this. You jump on board the stage bound for Sutter's Fort. Wow, that was easy. I'd normally type something in. I didn't even know you could go in there and just walk right onto the coach. Oh my goodness. And here it is, Sutter's Fort, everybody. And look, I've apparently gone native. So now, I'm just going to check. Okay, I have no money, so I do have to start figuring everything out from, get everything from scratch. So let's do it this way. We're going to find the graveyard, because in the letter it did mention that they buried my father there, and my father is obviously buried in San Francisco. And hey, look, there's the graveyard right there. Let's go up that way. There we go. Psalm 23. Wow! A tombstone with your pa's name on it. Only backwards. Your name is on it too. This must be what your brother was talking about in his letter. Your pa is really in the Brooklyn Cemetery. James must have put this tombstone here to leave clues to help you find him. This must be important. Now you'll look at everything on the tombstone carefully. You must be a genius. You take the letter from your long-lost brother out of your pocket and hold it up to the tombstone. Sorry, I need to remember that this thing did change. There we go. Hold it right there. You take note of a few clues left by James. A cannon with a big wheel. Psalm 23 is important. Through the holes in the ladder, you see these characters. R2100M. Below the letter you read, reserved for you always. Psalms 23, 2. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. Green pastures is obviously highlighted there. He lie me down in green pastures! Okay, so now, I'm going to head out that direction, actually. Because the town is, you know... Oh, you know what? You have to remember that if you didn't know about this before, you'd have to figure out how to get there. Let's see, where am I going? Apparently in circles. The setup of this fort is a little bit confusing, so you'll just have to bear with me for just a second here. Oh my goodness, what the hell? Okay, I guess all roads lead to this one exact spot. Alright, let's try going this way. Okay, now we're making progress. Let me guess, if I go down here, it'll... Yep. There. Oh my goodness. There we go. The guard takes one look at you and says, "You look as green as grass, stranger. I imagine you just pulled into the fort. Let me give you a few pointers. I'd advise you to take a good look around the fort, but there's only a few folks still hanging around here. Most folks have gone looking for gold. Don't take nothing that ain't yours unless you got permission and you pay for it in gold. Seems like the only thing of any use these days is a gold pan, a shovel, a lantern, and a trusty mule." Okay, so I'm just going to head out and start doing and find green pastures, which I know is out this way. And I'm going to crank the speed up so I don't end up having to sit here and wait, you know, for him to cross every screen to get there. Oh, look, there's people starting to pan for gold. This is the end of the tail race of Sutter's Sawmill. The town of Coloma is further to the east. Oh, I keep forgetting that they changed the narration is supposed to be in a southern accent now. I remember this! Remind me to buy a lantern. I need to get that lantern, because if I forget it, it's a real pain in the aspirations. Alright. Oh, look, green pastures! How did I find this so quick? Wow, it's like he's played this before. Alright. The man says, "Howdy, what can I do for you? The town's full, and there ain't no room in the hotel. The only way to get a room is to have one reserved for you. You have a room reserved?" Oh, no, yeah. "What room do you have reserved?" "That's interesting. No one has asked for room 12 since we added the closet between room 11 and room 13. That reminds me, I got a message to give to the man staying in room 11. Would you deliver it for me?" "Yeah, why not? Great, hang on a second. Here's the message. Thanks, I owe you one. By the way, I think room 11 was next to room 12. Room 11 was next to room 12. And next thing you know, you'll be telling me Saturday is after Friday. You find that very interesting. So there's 13. There's 11. Knock, knock, knock. Sounds like someone's coming to the door. "Yeah, what do you want?" The man, somewhat surprised that you're bringing him a message, takes it and begins to read it. The man's face drops in some kind of emotion. He looks up from the message and says, I gotta go! You're in my way, man. This cannon looks just like the one on the tombstone at Sutter's Fort. However, the wheel on this cannon looks bigger than the one on the tombstone. You wonder why this cannon would have such a big wheel. The cannon wheel is difficult to turn. But as you continue to turn the wheel, you realize that an ingeniously designed mechanism is raising the back wall of the fireplace. You might get covered with soot, but you climb into the fireplace. Just in case, you turn the wheel on the cannon and lower the back wall of the fireplace. You are now in the elusive room 12. You see a wall has been built where the door was, creating a small closet. There is a table on the floor, a fireplace, and a bird cage. You unlatch the window, and there. You open the window. There's something on the table in the middle of the room. Looks like a handwritten and slightly yellowed note, a magnet, and that's about it. You get the horseshoe-shaped magnet off the table. You read the note. To read the note, you gotta have the note. Well, fine. I mean, it's not like it's just sitting there. You grab the note, eager to see what it might say. Dear Jared, if you're looking for gold, then find me. Make sure no one follows you. Your brother, Jake. Elias James Wilson Marshall. You snatch the string off the dusty floor. And now comes a little bit of a waiting game. There is one, Overland, there is a really hilarious puzzle where you gotta leave at the right time, and by doing that, you literally sit there and stare at grass growing. That's right. There is a part of this game where you have to watch grass grow. The bird has a small capsule attached to its leg. In very small script, you see this engraved in the capsule. For a clue to my exact location, insert family photo here. Oh. You carefully roll up the family photo and put it in the capsule. You open the window. Alright, and now we wait again. Yeah, but basically, you're sitting there, and you have to look at the ground, and you can type in look grass, or look at grass, or whatever, and it'll, tell you what's going on, but you're sitting there with all these brown dots, and they have to all eventually turn green, to start turning green to show you that, the grass is starting to get good. But, oh my goodness, it's hilarious, because you're just sitting there going, am I watching grass grow? And it can take a long time, especially with this game. With this version, I don't know what the problem is, but I tried to set the speed up to maximum so it would kind of clip along a little quicker. Nope. I could not set the speed up. I literally was sitting there waiting for that grass to grow the entire time. And here the door in room 11 slammed shut, and that's why I closed the fireplace. So yeah, there is some areas in this game where you are literally just doing patience. Of course, for me, that wasn't a problem back in the day because all I would do is just run around the room trying to do stuff. And now I know that there's literally nothing else you can do in this room except wait. Okay. Oh my goodness. I wonder if I have to actually... Okay. At some point, I'll test that. You close the window. There's an aerogram in the capsule. Without getting your hand pecked up too badly, you get the aerogram out of the capsule. As trusty as my mule may be, just follow him and he'll lead you to me. And since it's a tight fit, but you managed to crawl through the window. There we go. This is going much better than my other playthroughs. And yeah, I think the Panama Trek is one of the only ones where you don't have as much of a chance of just randomly being killed. You can still get randomly killed, but I don't think it's as much of an issue. And you know what? I'm going to pan for gold, because if you do the, if you go south into the, like, terrain, into the, what do you call it? If you go south into, like, digging territory where there's, like, ground and stuff, where it's not near the river, you'll start running into bandits, they'll steal all your gold, you'll lose all of your points, and it's probably one of the most frustrating things of all time. Alright. That guy had gold in his. So let's go get ourselves a pan and start getting enough gold that we can get enough gold that we can get ourselves a mule. The clerk looks at the shelves and says, "There are a few pans left, but I'm not giving them away. You're going to have to give me some gold in one form or another if you want to take anything out of this store." The clerk says, "Okay, I'll take that gold coin, and here's your gold pan. I wish you the best luck. I hear the best spot for finding gold is around the town of Coloma. Good luck to you." All right. So now you got... Okay, let me do this part here really quick. I'm going to head over this way, because there's a blacksmith and I need to talk to him. And I mean, even in this area, I mean, everything could be colored very simply. It could be, you know, kind of just... There he is. It could be just, you know, pretty bleb, you know, basic coloring, because I don't even think it was that colorful back then. It may have been. I could be wrong. But still, my point is, the graphics, no matter where you're at, just make it a point of making everything look nice and bright and cheerful. Hang on there, fella. I'll be right with you. Can't you see, man, that I'm as busy as a one-armed paper hanger at an itch? If you'd excuse me, I'd best be getting back to my work. Hold on there, son. You ain't from these parts around, say, You ain't from the parts around, say, New York, would you be? Yeah. You wouldn't be from Brooklyn, would you? Yeah. And the last name ain't by any chance, darn it, Wilson? Yeah, that's it. And, your first name wouldn't be, shoot, Jared? That's it. And, you got a brother named, Dagburn it, This guy has the worst memory of all time. My brother's name is Jake. Well, I'll be. I can't believe it. I lean over here, young fella, and listen to me close. This guy has a speech impediment. I can't be talking too loud about this kind of thing, which is why I'm gonna yell it really loud. No, really. I got a message for you from your brother. I ain't got no notion of his whereabouts. All I got is a message. He wants you to know that in these parts he's known as James. That's it, James Wilson Marshall. James left his trusty mule for you in the fort's main corral. He said it would help you find him. He also gave me this. Ain't got no idea what it's for, but he wanted me to give it to you. The soot-covered blacksmith hands you a branding iron. Branding irons are a fairly common article around this area, but this is a rare brand indeed. Looks like a magnet holding the key, which is actually a hint to solve a later puzzle. And now we're going to be going and getting some gold. Yay! Because you need to buy a mule and brand it with the same brand that your brother used, and then switch them out inside the corral. Oh, nope, wrong way. And I'm going to get out there pretty far. Once you start seeing people panning, it's a good indication that you're going to... Okay, so just remember that you cannot pan where somebody else is. So if there is somebody there, don't do it. They'll take you and get you hung. Nothing. Wheelikers, this is wonderful! See-wee! My oh my, ain't that a beauty? Oh, they're going to force me to move, aren't they? Okay. Yeah, and the other thing is you want to be careful when you have like the tree right there in the middle. Nice. When you have the tree in the middle, there is the off chance that you are accidentally going to get yourself killed because somebody's hiding behind it panning. It's even worse in the ground area because not only can you have that happen, but you can also have bandits come and get you. And if you're not careful, they will kill you. And it's really frustrating because it's like you're walking along and it's like, oh, here they are. They take all your gold, so now you got to go and redo everything there. But then they walk away and you start moving, but the game hasn't registered that they've walked away. Yeah, I'm not risking that. So all of a sudden you end up getting shot and killed. So if it ever happens, just give it a few extra seconds after they disappear. That way you don't accidentally get taken out. I wonder how much money you could potentially get from this. Like, I'm noticing it is a lot slower. Maybe I just got to get closer to the city. Wait a minute, if I get closer, isn't 15 where the city's at? No, I can get closer, but there's a guy here. I wonder if you could buy a firearm and start robbing people. I'm not going to do that. I would never do that. See, and this is like the big dangerous area. You could totally get toasted doing this, but I'm going to try it out anyway. Nice. There's nobody here. Because there could be somebody just like right there, and you would have no idea. Wow, this is lucrative area. How much money do I got? $621! Dude! I think I'm good. I could definitely finish the game on that, so I'll just do that. I think you can keep doing this until you have quite literally maxed out your points. Like, you could keep going for a very long time. I could be wrong on that, but I don't think I ever really hit a limit with how much gold you could find. just panning and digging. Okay, so now I've got to go buy the mule, and I got to work my way around this headache of an area. So let's go track down our mule guy, which I think is... That's right, he's way over that way. Because you get to the blacksmith, and then you go... You just keep going to the right, or was it... You go down. Yep, and then you follow this, and you will come across the good old mule seller. If you're looking for a mule, this is the only place in the fort to buy one. It's going to cost you a bit of gold to get your hands on one of these beauties, says the man. Alright, I'll just take a little of that gold you got there and give you a mule. Come on, get out of there, you lazy good-for-nothing mule. You grab hold of the rope round the neck of the docile mule and take it away. It willingly follows you. Sucker. This thing has no idea what's in store for it. Why, Mr. Mule, have you ever heard of a branding iron? Livestock had it very hard back then. Okay, so I remember back in the day, I had a huge issue with this particular part, because if you got too far away from the mule, it would run off. You take the red-hot iron and place it firmly on the mule's left rear haunch. It sizzles and stinks, but the mule takes it on all fours. Yeah, and what would happen is, if you got too far away, the mule would literally wander off, and you'd lose it. You'd never get it back. Which obviously really stinks. The mule man says, "Hold it right there, stranger. I need to get a description of that there mule you bringing in here." "Okay, it's a brown mule. Looks scrawny with the... I ain't seen a iron like that, and looks like a magnet holding the key." "Okay, take it on in. If you want to leave it for a spell, well, standing stall will do." Preferably, I'd take it up into that one up there and just leave it, because, you know, that way it would make it a lot easier to sort through this mess. Okay. So now I gotta find my brother's mule. Mr. Wright, copyright. Oh my goodness. Well, let's see. And every time I got to type, I look down. Ah, that was the old one. Let's go out and just grab one of these guys. You there, get over here, you... Ah. Oh, you again? Arg! Let's try this guy way down here. Maybe you? Oh, this guy again! I'm like going back and forth between 3 mules right now. Not you again. That's my old one. Well, I think that's one of the ones I don't need up there. So let's try going for this bugger. Oh my goodness. It's this guy again. You. This is probably copyright again. Oh my word! What am I doing? Okay. Is that the same one I just grabbed? How about you? Get over here. Holy God Almighty! That's the exact same one. Let's do this. I'm gonna go down and just carry this thing around with me. Okay, none of these are it. There it is. I got him. I think I got him. Yes! Oh, man. Okay, let's get out of here before I lose this thing. The mule man stands and says, "Let me take a look at that there mule you got there. Well, it's brown skin and it got a same brand on it. What's this? What you they're trying to bulldoze on me here? Whoop, my mistake. That dang mule they brought in here. See you later." Suddenly he's Boomhauer. Oh yeah, I just remembered. I gotta get that stinking, I gotta get the lantern. Thanks for reminding me. Whoever did that and put it in my brain. There's plenty to fit in there. It's got lots of empty space. Alright. Okay, we're going to tie this bugger up here. You securely tie the mule to the hitching post. I'm not in this business for my health, and lanterns are getting scarce. You're going to have to give me some gold in one form or another if you want to take anything out of this store. Alright, there we go. You untie the mule and firmly grab the rope around its neck. It begins to follow you. Okay, so I think we're, I think I got everything I need, so I can actually, get this show on the road. One thing to remember when you're doing this is, when you're following the mule, you can't, first of all, when you're doing this, you can actually loot. Is it like that? So what you want to do is get as close to the water as you can. That way you can kind of avoid the trees and little rocks that can hold up the mule and separate the two of you. Because if you get too far away, he'll wander off and you'll never get him again. It's done. Another thing is when you're following the mule, which is inevitably what I'm going to end up doing here, you don't have to worry about the bandits. So try to remember everything you're going to need before you get to the point where you're following this mule. And I'm saying this now because obviously I'm telling you already know how to play through this. But in case you want to like play through the game from a different path or try different solutions, because there actually are other solutions for some of these If you just, so if you want to like take one of the other trails and try that out, go ahead. But in this area, just remember, as if you're following the mule, the bandits will not show up and take all your money and deplete your score, forcing you to redo everything. It's south 7 and then east 35. Alright, so we are actually... Oh, whoa. So we're almost there, sort of. Even, you know, here's something I find funny is, I think I don't know how many of these I've seen so far, but I don't think I've ever seen too many that are exactly the same. Like, it always seems like the screens are just a little bit different. Each time I play, you know, you'll find some areas that are similar, but I wonder if they've had like a procedurally generated screen for some areas. I could be wrong though. There could be a lot of, you know, repeated screens and I'm just not noticing it. Ah, yes. Oh, I swear we're almost there, folks. At least the music is nice. We're at 26. I think it's at like 34, so we're almost there. I'm gonna save just be. Oh, here we are, 27 by 7. Hey, it was closer than I had thought. This is the inside of your brother's cabin. It's tidy but dusty, but he must not spend much time here. There's a table on the floor in the corner. Well, where else would the table be? The ceiling? The only thing of interest on the table is a book of matches. You get the matches from the table. Next to the huge rug is a trap door in the floor. There's a doormat at the front door. The doormat is clean, but the rug in the center of the floor is dirty. Oh, what? Okay. You're going to be smart alecky then, are you? So the trap door implies that there's something under the ground, like a mine. How do we get into this mine? Like so. Do I really have to do this? Yes. Nope. Thanks a lot. You light the lantern. Alright. This door is immensely huge and the sturdiest door you've ever seen in your entire life. There's an interesting hole in the door as shown here. This door has a heavy-duty double lock system to keep out unwanted intruders. You can barely see under the door. Your genius is shown again. You tie the string to the magnet. You're full of good ideas. You put the magnet with string attached through the hole in the door. Ever so slowly and carefully, you lower the magnet down the far side of the door. Time passes slowly. It seems like an eternity, and then you hear the magnet pick up a metal object on the far side of the door. Even more carefully than you lowered the magnet, you raise it again. Beads of sweat break out on your forehead and the palms of your hands are sweating. You hope not to lose yourself. Lose whatever it is that's attached itself to the magnet. Congratulations! You pull the magnet along with a steel key through the hole in the door. You unlock both of these gargantuan locks with the steel key from the far side of the door. Okay, and this is one thing you're going to have to remember on this one, is this is a pixel-perfect system. If you don't hit some of these ladders perfectly, especially this next one coming up, which is the most, it's the most annoying thing ever, you will die. You'll just fall. They're very unforgiving on it. So, hey, look, a pickaxe. You eagerly get the pick. Let's see, is it out here or is it the other way? I think it's the other way. Oh yeah, you gotta go back up. Now you do get extra points if you manage to pull this stunt off. Without using the lantern. In other words, okay. So you got to figure, basically you have to use the matches to light your way. And you run out of matches, so you got to like almost have memorized the entire map to be able to do this. And look, yeah, like this right here, holy Toledo, just the amount of places where you could get totally slaughtered. You reach out and grab the gold nuggets. You know, my brother is not very good at this. He's leaving gold lying around like nobody's business. And you can. Well, normally you can. Phew. Oh my goodness. Yeah, see? Wait a minute. I thought I saved a little later. Weird. Okay. Save frequently, kids. Whoa, and see, yeah, right there. You could have just totally biffed it right there. Right there. See that? That's like, you couldn't move straight. No. I just saved over my thing when I was dead. And I wish they didn't allow me to do that. Okay, so forget getting gold. I'm just going to finish this because... There we go. I was about to say, what just happened? Please tell me they didn't glitch and I lost my lantern somehow. We're going to punish you! And you do need the pickaxe. So, we'll grab this. Yeah. But yeah, that one ladder there is like the death of me because it's slightly off. Oh, I'm already here. It's slightly off. It isn't a straight ladder, so you're more likely going to just hit it slightly wrong, and then your character falls to his death. And here we go down this way. Ah, like that, see? Oh my goodness, and there we go. I didn't save. Oh my goodness. Right there is that little, like, thing where you could have overdone it by just a micrometer and died. Through the still darkness, you hear the faint sound of someone picking. Try without the lantern sometime. Without lighting the lantern sometime. No. Your eyes, unaccustomed to the bright light of the lanterns, take a moment to adjust. Although you are still squinting, you see a man across the mine shaft. You have followed a trail of clues left by your brother, and they have led you right here. It must be him. You move closer to get a better look. It has been 11 years, but there's no doubt about it. That is your brother. Jake! You shout across the mine shaft. You wait a moment and shout again, Jake! I mean, James! Is that you? The man across the mine shaft stops picking and turns around. He looks you over from head to toe. It's me, your brother, Jared, you shout. Jared? Is that really you? It's me, Jared Wilson. I can't believe it's you. It's really you. I just can't believe it. Aww. Let me get a good look at you, Jared. I still can't believe it's really you. You are looking good, Jared. Well, I'm looking okay considering everything I've been through to get here. But I'm wondering about you, James. How are you doing? And what have you been doing for the last 11 years? That's a long story. I'll tell you all about it sometime. But right now, you and I have work to do. I'm closing in on the finest and purest vein of gold in all of California. and the two of us are going to find it. Well, then let's get to work, James. A wonderful family reunion. Okay. You struck gold! I say gold, young man! It's not mine, it's pick. Hey, James! Look at this! James says, I wonder, it looks strange. I wonder what's going on here. Keep on going, Jared. It's getting bigger, James. Look. I see it, brother. Keep on going. Oh my, look at that. Keep swinging that pick, Jared. It's almost big enough to get through. My heart is pounding, James. What do you think is behind it? I don't know, Jared, but my knees are getting weak. With great anticipation, you crawl through the hole into the underground cavern. For a moment, you and James stand in awe of what you have found. The silence is broken only by echoes of the splashing stream winding through the cavern. The light of the lantern reflects a golden glimmer all around you. This must be a dream. What we found here isn't fool's gold. This is gold! Pure gold! Your courage, commitment, and perseverance have made your dream come true, infinitely beyond your highest hopes or aspirations. Thank you for playing Gold Rush. And there it is, folks. That is Gold Rush. The classic edition. Overall, I still love this game. I think it's pretty awesome. Obviously, I missed some points, and I'm not sure exactly where, but I think it basically boils down to, you know, you can do picking and digging and panning, and you can get the extra, you know, gold there to fill in that. And there's probably maybe a couple other things I missed, but overall, that's pretty much how I've played it ever since I've gotten it. And basically, I almost always take the Panama route because I hate the random deaths in the other ones. If you want to check it out, go ahead. But they're a bit too frustrating, and it tends to take way too long to get through one of those to put on one of my videos. But there you have it. Now, there is a remake. There is a VGA... Not really even VGA, it's kind of enhanced 3D graphics remake of this game. And they even made a sequel onto that, a Gold Rush 2, which never existed with the Classic Edition. So, we'll see what happens. I'll play it, and I'm going to go through the exact same path that I did before with the Panama and all that. Despite the fact that I already know that the thing is... The part with the swamp is a major pain, and I'm going to try and figure that out. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you all for dropping by. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe, drop a like on the video, and feel free to give me any comments or opinions, stuff like that, in the comment section down below. So, thanks again, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day.